Kahalo Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them, who taught us this truth. The Shabbat Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word in truth and in sincerity. The hopeful elect tabernacle of David. I'm the brother Yashawan, back with the WW3 Daily Update. Shabbat Shalom and salutations to you as well. We're going to keep it short, Lord willing. We're going to start right here, Isaiah 13 and 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. The Medes are the Russians. Them are the Babylonians, or Babylon the Great, which is America. The Medes are the Russians. I is God. Look, God said, I will stir up Russia against America. And they can't be bought off. All right. Now we're going to listen to old Paul here, Off-Grid Desert Farming with Paul and Adrian. He's got some things to say. This is yesterday, 16 hours ago. Breaking news, Russia to increase military to 1.5 million soldiers. Poland, who's in Poland right now? Ready to enter war. Let's see. 101, where did the choking chicken go? Jeremiah Extreme. Where did the 101 airborne air assault soldiers go? 101. Choking chicken. Patch on my shoulder. 101st. Slovakia. Bear with me. 101 airborne. Come on, thing. Look at this. Oh, I got. I'm connected again. Okay, 101 air. Division. In what? Let's just get to it. In Poland. How about that? What comes up? 2 months ago. That's 10 months ago. U.S. 101 Airborne Division deployed near Ukraine's border in Poland. Just say Poland. They don't want to say Poland. That's 8 months. That's the 82nd. Near Ukraine's border. You hear that? See, when they don't want something to be noised abroad. Let's see. Let's watch this real quick. After the commercial. All right, check it out.
Today, a senior U.S. government official rejected a new claim by Russia's defense minister. He claimed that Ukraine is preparing to detonate a radioactive dirty bomb with Western help on its own territory.
Now, this is a month ago.
Well, bombs did, in fact, target Ukraine today. They were Russian. This aftermath in the southern city of Mykolaiv. Right now, the United States has about 100,000 troops in Europe. CBS's Charlie D'Agata is with...
Where? Where are the troops? In Europe? They're right here in Poland.
...of them along Romania's border with Ukraine.
Are they in Romania?
U.S. F-18 fighter jets take flight off the deck of the USS George H.W. Bush in the Adriatic.
Okay, so that's the Navy. Gosh, do I have to do this? Bear with me, please. Baba Kasha. Let me see. Oh, right here. I don't want that. What do I want? want YouTube. Gotta stop this. So lucky, bear with me. Look at this. Gosh. Okay, so I'm looking for Poland. What? 101. Airborne. In Poland. It says Romania. Arrives in Europe. Right here. That's February 15th. Alright, so it appears as though my information, okay, with a Polish soldier after drill, and this combination image, Afghan. About a month and a half ago, 101 deployed to Poland, and I'm having a problem finding that from Poland. Let's see. It says Romania. Okay, so let me get my facts straight. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But we know that there are a large division in Poland as well as Romania. Whether they were there for the last 10 months or not. Screaming eagles. Used to call them the choking chickens. Anyway, Fort Campbell's 101 headed to Poland with the 82nd. So they've been planning this for a while. Why would they go and deploy how many days before the so-called war started, right? Anyway, so the point is that they're in country. All right, so let's listen to this guy. Poland ready to enter war. It's all NATO. All right, so let's listen.
So this is our second video that we've made today. So much information is coming in. We didn't cover it all our last video, but a lot of things are transpiring in the world. Please watch that red alert video, the one before this one, to catch up on all the news. But we wanted to go over some additional information about the big announcement that Putin and the Russian Defense Department was going to make, and that happened today. So if you go to our last video, we played a couple videos of the meeting that Putin had with his defense ministry. This was in a large room with all of his generals and military personnel. And during this meeting, they discussed a lot of important issues, and I'm going to bring you that right now, what exactly was said in that meeting. So this is coming in from Pravda, one of the Russian news agencies. Putin and Shoigu assessed the threat from NATO and reform the army. Vladimir Putin supported the reform of the Russian armed forces aimed at technical modernization, numerical and quantitative growth in connection with the growing threat of the United States and NATO. So to Russia, folks.
Okay, let's stop that real quick. So Vladimir Putin supported reform of RF armed forces aimed at a technical modernization, numerical and qualitative growth in connection with the growing threat from who? Babylon. Okay? Babylon first, and then their allies. So this goes back to what we read here in Isaiah. All right? Look, I will stir up Russia against America. That's what this says. Clearly. Okay. Let's listen to a little more of this, and then I want to quickly touch on Zelensky being at the wherever he was speaking last night.
For the threat. I mean, to the United States, Russia, China, and North Korea and Iran are the threats, but Russia's main threat is the United States. So this is...
that's what the scripture says. Okay. We're watching it. Okay, we're watching it jump off the pages of the scripture.
Vladimir Putin and his defense secretary, Sergei Shoigu. Russian President Vladimir Putin and Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu spoke on
Sergei Shoigu.
December 21st at the column of the Ministry of Defense. So let me enlarge this a little bit for you. Maybe it'll be a little bit easier for you to read. So he said the main points from Putin's speech today, he said Russia will not be completely militarized to the detriment of the economy as it was in the USSR or the Soviet Union. We will not repeat the mistakes of the past when, in the interest of increasing defense capabilities where necessary and when it was not necessary, we destroyed our economy. We will not engage in the militarization of the country and the militarization of the economy, the Russian president said. Putin has no doubt that all the goals of the new VO in Ukraine will be achieved. Russia has everything necessary for this. There are no restrictions on financing the army. The country provides everything the military needs. In 2023, an increase in the supply of the latest weapons to the army, the development and use of drones is expected. They should be everywhere in combat squads, platoons, companies, battalions. The target should be detected as quickly as possible. Information should be transmitted to strike in real time. The UAV or drones should be linked to each other, integrated into a single reconnaissance network. So this is some of the speech and the objectives of the Russian military for next year. So he said volunteers and citizens who help the army sending warm clothes, equipment, cars are worthy of gratitude and low bow. A special operation in Ukraine was inevitable due to the transformation of Ukraine into a hostile Nazi state. It became obvious that clashes with these forces, including in Ukraine, were inevitable. The only question was when this would happen, but better today than tomorrow. The Defense Department should be attentive to criticism, even emotional. Ukraine will soon have nothing left but handouts, as we have everything. What I want to emphasize is that we, namely Russia, and there are a few countries in the world, I'm not talking about our neighbors, they will soon have nothing at all. Everything will be only in the form of handouts and money, and weapons and ammunition, only handouts. In Russia, everything is completely different. We have everything, Putin said. The main thing from Shoigu's speech is that partial mobilization was carried out to stabilize the situation, to protect new territories and carry out further offensive operations. The Russian armed forces are taking exhaustive measures to prevent civilian deaths and
Okay, that's good enough. So basically what you're watching here in this speech is what? We're watching this. God is stirring up Russia against America. What do you mean against America? Isn't the fight against Ukraine? Let's find out. 18 hours ago, the so-called actor president is in Congress right here in Washington, D.C. Why? What is this guy doing? Okay. Why are the Americans holding up the Ukrainian flag? Because it's the Americans over there fighting. This is a proxy war. All right? Get that real quick. November 18th. Let's get proxy war. Definition. Proxy war. A war instigated by a major power, U.S., which does not itself become involved. Okay? All right? So, a proxy war is an armed conflict between two states or non-state actors. So, what they're saying is Ukraine is fighting against Russia when it's actually the United States. Okay? Now, and we can prove that by watching a little bit of this speech. What is this guy doing in America? Shouldn't you be fighting your war against Russia? Or are you coming back to get rearmed as the United States fights a war against Russia in front of everybody's eyes and says that it's actually the Ukrainians?
Madam Speaker, the President of Ukraine.
This is crazy. It's a proxy war. It is too much. It is too much. Did you watch this crazy shit? Come on. Oh, I shut it down.
You bravely visited Ukraine during the full-fledged war. Thank you very much. Great honor. Thank you.
Is this a joke? He's a comedian. Is this a play? Is this Wag the Dog? He's an actor. Didn't he just get an Emmy? Zelensky receives Emmy. Did he get an Emmy? European Parliament. He got some kind of delivers speech at the Grammys. What is that? Medal from Zelensky. Biden receives prestigious. He got some kind of acting. What is it? SAG. Zelensky, Biden. I'll find it. This is it. Oscar? Okay. Something. Sean Penn gave Zelensky his Oscar. Why? For great acting. Anyway. Yeah. This thing is it's a mess. Slovakia. Yeah, so this is clearly the United States fighting against Russia. What is this guy doing? Okay. What's he
Vice
doing?
President.
What is this man doing in America?
Thank you for your efforts in helping Ukraine. Madam Speaker.
Thank you for your efforts in helping Ukraine. Who's really fighting? Can the Ukraine fight against Russia? No. China could. America could. Not too many people could go up against Russia. Certainly not the Ukraine. All right. So, let me see. Let's get out of this. How do we get out? We'll just, hey, this is this is the lead up to World War III. Simple as that. Let's get that ended. Salaki for droning on. Just pointing some things out. In the KJV. All right, so Revelation 11 and 14, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. All right. Second woe was World War II. The third woe is World War III, which, according to the scriptures, is coming quickly. As you can see, all right? Don't let this actor fool you, this comedian. This whole thing is a joke. America's bound and determined to do what? Right? To fight against. See, the Most High is the one creating this war. Okay? All right? Nobody can stop this. Let's go to Joel real quick. And ultimately, they're going to fight in the Middle East. A little more on God. God says, Joel 3 and 2, that's God, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh will gather the armies of the world into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Why do you think he's going to gather the army? What do armies do? They wage wars. Valley of Jehoshaphat is in the Middle East. This is the last battle. Okay. Who's doing it? Most High. He's gathering, not to sip tea. Okay. So what we're looking at is the beginning of World War III, which ends in the Middle East. The valley of Yahweh, God's judgment. All right. He's setting up an ambush, if you will. The ambush zone, the strike zone, is in the valley of Yahweh. There he's going to judge them. Judge who? The armies of the world, the nations, all nations. For what? For harming his people. The Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and Speckled Bird, his special possession, for scattering them among the nations and dividing up the land of Yasharallah. All right? So with that, we'll end it. Hope that the elector edify you, brothers and few sisters. With that, we're going to say Shabbat Shalom.